Hello everyone. In this video, I would like to dive into the portrayal of Thomas Boleyn in the show The Tudors. It is probably one of the worst portrayal of Thomas Boleyn. It just shows him as someone who is using his daughters to get his way up in the world. He's someone who has no moral compass. He's absolutely opportunistic. I don't like the way he treats his daughter and even Mary in many ways. And there is a scene, I think, that really shows how bad he's portrayed in this. And so I would like to react to it and then to discuss with you who was the real Thomas Boleyn. So here we have Anne Boleyn, who's meeting with her father and her uncle, Thomas Howard, Duke of Norfolk. So here we already have the complete domination of these two men who are supposedly they have to be kind of a protectors, right? And so he shows extreme obedience, respect. But that bugs me. That really does bug me.
Uncle.
Uncle. There, just that look here. Look. I've raised her well to be a little puppet. That look shows that there's already something wrong in the portrayal of Thomas Boleyn. So here they have this kind of agreement. You've done well, my daughter. She's smiling back at her daddy. I've done well, daddy, right? You happy now?
Sweetheart.
Yes, Papa?
Just the voice. I have nothing against the actor. I just think it's badly cast. Yes, Papa.
You know why you're here?
No, Papa. In Paris, no one explained.
Good. It's better that way.
What's happened?
His Majesty is tiring of his French alliance. It seems he's also tiring of your sister. He no longer invites her to his bed.
Poor Mary.
Or us.
Okay, I hate... So, here, the script. And I know, guys, I know that some of you are a huge fan of The Tudors. And trust me, it's my guilty pleasure too. I'm not judging you. I'm not judging anyone. But can we please stop on that scene and see how bad it is? The king is tired of your stuff. I think I should make a whole video about Mary Boleyn and, was she or was she not the mistress of Henry VIII? Lots of people believe that she was. Actually, the evidence exists. But honestly, for me, it's not very convincing. The one we have that is that people rely on is written in 1574, Nicholas Sander, and I think it's about, for me, it's to create this reputation around the Boleyns that they were just, the sisters were the same, wanted to have, royal favor, and it's basically for me an attack on Elizabeth I. So, do we have a real evidence that Mary Boleyn was ever the mistress of Henry VIII? For me, it's not. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm not saying that 100% no. But I'm saying it's not 100% convincing, and I don't like that we always play. And it helps people put against the two sisters against one another. One is more successful because she became queen. The other is just a mistress and was just someone who slept around. And here, in that scene as well, is when she said, oh, poor Mary. Obviously, she doesn't really care because they are supposed to be against one another. And honestly, I would dismiss that theory completely. But you have Thomas Boleyn say, poor us. So here, again, using his daughters to be important for him, to be important for the king. I really, really don't like it.
When she was his mistress, all our fortunes were made. Now, most likely, they will fall. Unless...
Even if he had me, who is to say he would keep me? It's not just Mary. They say that all his liaisons are soon over. He blows hot, he blows cold.
Perhaps you could imagine a way to keep his interest more prolonged? I dare say you learn things in France.
I hate so much this line. First of all, I want you to realize, like, isn't it disgusting? Like, the dad is literally, in that show, it's not true, guys. In that show, Thomas Boleyn is just portrayed as this man trying to get his daughter in the bed of someone for him to get wealthier. And obviously, I'm not saying that it doesn't happen in history, but it doesn't happen with Thomas Boleyn. It doesn't happen with Thomas Boleyn. I really believe that Thomas Boleyn loved his daughters, and that when Henry showed an interest in Anne, then they were trying to find a way for her to be more permanent, right? But here, what we're suggesting is that Thomas Boleyn saw his daughter Mary no longer having the favor of the king. So he's asking his second daughter to... And so it would mean that Anne Boleyn was trying to get the attention of the king when she wasn't. She had no interest in Henry VIII. She didn't want to marry Henry VIII, and Thomas Boleyn didn't want her to. They wanted a good marriage for her. To climb the ladder, yes, but had nothing to do with Henry VIII or becoming Queen of England. And I'm sorry if I become too passionate about this, but that is something that really annoys me, because this show, as much as I love it, and I love it, guys, does portray this idea of Anne plotting a father being a pimp, really, and manipulating and using his daughters for his own interests, and none of it happened this way. That is bad. That is bad because it perpetuates this idea of Anne Boleyn pursuing Henry VIII when she never did. And worse, here it gives this idea that it was all because of her father.
How to play his passions. There's something deep and dangerous in you, Anne.
There's something deep and dangerous with you, Anne, and the way he strokes her face, like, it literally, I mean, it makes me sick. I think I could throw up.
Those eyes of yours are like dark hooks for the soul.
This is disgusting. Honestly, we're talking about father talking to his daughter. And so that's just that scene, and that scene is so wrong. It's so wrong because it pits the sisters against one another. And I don't think it's true. None of them were the mistresses of Francis I. When he talks about it, makes a reference about being in France and what she learned there. None of it happened that way. I know. I'm not saying that Francis I was not a womanizer and everything, but Anne Boleyn stayed with Claude. Or even if she stayed with Margaret, she would have avoided like that kind of debauchery and sleeping around everywhere and the orgies and stuff. She would have missed it because that was not where the royal women were spending time. So she would not have seen it. She would not have been involved in any of this. Trust me, there were enough women at Francis I school for Francis not to be interested in Mary Boleyn or Anne Boleyn. So nothing happened. And it's just a way to kind of treat these two women, Mary and Anne, as these whores, basically, who, you know, were bad people who tried to get the attention of kings. They were extremely ambitious, and I just absolutely hate it. And obviously in this show they're trying to make that Thomas Boleyn is also behind all of it. Of course he wanted his daughters to be well. Of course he wanted his daughters to do well and to marry well and to advance the name of the Boleyns and have all of this. Of course it was true, but it was not in that kind of disgusting pimp way. Like, that didn't happen. And the fact that we have that representation, I think, is highly dictatorial to our perception of Thomas Boleyn, but also of what actually happened between Mary and Henry VIII, if anything ever happened, but also between Henry VIII and Anne Boleyn. Let me know in the comments what you think about this portrayal of Thomas Boleyn, and tell me if you think that Mary Boleyn was the mistress of Henry VIII. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate you. Bye!